The last episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta left many fans wondering, is K.Michelle crazy? Who's plotting against her? What the heck is she talking about? Well, you guys, I know this video was like a couple of days after the episode. I was braiding my hair. And while I was braiding my hair, I had a chance to watch the episode a couple of times. And I noticed so many things that I'm not sure everybody else caught. So I have those still shots and some clips for you guys. We're going to get into that as we review the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 7 from season 17. Right after my intro plays, give it 51 seconds to play, and I'll meet you guys right back here in the suite. Since the beginning of times, beauty salons and barbershops have had a special place in the hearts of the industry professionals and the patrons alike. We can all remember trips to the shop, special moments made, conversations had, and lessons learned. From politics to pop culture, the latest gossip, love and relationships, and social movements. It's all talked about. Lifelong friendships are created, networks are built, ideas are shared, and politicians are made or broken. Our power is great. Our reach is wide. This is the place where we all shine, from the beginning to the end of times. Let's keep the conversation alive. Join me in my suite from your suite, and let's talk about the tea. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to the suite. My name is Tanya. I'm your host, and this is Sweet Tea, where we talk about all kinds of things that we talk about in hair salons, barbershops, okay? And so right now, everybody, all my clients and myself who watch Real Housewives of Atlanta are asking ourselves, is K.Michelle crazy? Are producers trying to make her look crazy? Are they cutting stuff out of the story? I'm not sure, you guys, but after this last episode, it really did not do her any justice, okay? However, like I said in the intro, I was braiding my hair this week, which is why this video is just coming out and it's Wednesday. But I was braiding my hair and I watched the episode over a couple of times, and I promise you guys, I'm like, I'm not sure. I kind of see where Kay is coming from, this whole plot against her and all that. Yeah, we're going to get into all of it. You guys. But let's go ahead and get into the beginning of the episode. So the episode starts off kind of where it left off last season, and they're still in the Sprinter van on the way to Cynthia's party, okay? And so they are still fussing. Porsha and Kelli are still fussing. Remember, y'all, the episode last week left off with Kelli and Porsha arguing, and Kelli telling Porsha that she wouldn't want any of her hot chili cheese Frito, stuff, after Porsha accused Kelli of trying to scissor her and going with the married man. Okay. That's just a little refresher. So the episode picks up right there. So they're riding to dinner in the Sprinter van. Kelli and Porsha continue to argue over the allegations that Kelli slept with the married man. And honestly, the more Porsha explains the story, the less believable it sounds. Because when Porsha is telling the story, it's so casually. And I was like, yeah, girl. And I was like, and then he called me. He was like, you're not going to believe this. And it just seems like, it just does not seem believable, first of all, that she just happened to be there while the guy that Kelli slept with just happened to be messaging the guy that Porsha just happened to be with. It's a little weird. I'm not saying, but at the same time, Kelli has not denied it. She has not denied that she slept with someone. She just keeps saying, like, prove it, y'all know, whatever. So Drew does suggest that maybe Kelli didn't know the guy was married. And Portia's like, oh, yes, she did, because she tried to squash it the next day. Okay, she's insisting that Kelli absolutely did know. And Porsha says that, she sent Kelli flowers to her grand opening. She's not really sure why Kelli is tripping, but Kelli didn't want the flowers. She didn't want the apology. So, she can stick the flowers up her butt, up her ass, is what Porsha said. And then Kelli fires back by saying, I don't need a rose, you do. And then somehow everything shifted. The conversation shifted into the rose, which at that time, I didn't get it when she said that. I was thinking about like the Bachelorette or something. I don't know. It just did not click to me that the rose was a sex toy until they started talking about it being a sex toy. I was like, oh my God.
And I'm here that you need a rose, not me. I'm all right. Whatever. It's given everybody needs a rose. Hell, I need a rose sometimes too.
So they all start talking about this rose and how long it takes them to climax using the rose and all this. And Cynthia says she can do it in less than a minute. Porsha says that she's not working with those because they will desynthesize you. But one time she did, and she was just kind of left looking at it. And K.Michelle is completely confused watching these ladies go from fighting to laughing within minutes, right? And so Portia's like, again, like, I'm scared to use it because you can become desynthesized to it, which means like you can become so used to it that when you get the real thing, it don't work the same way, right? And so Cynthia said that she can make it happen in less than a minute, and Porsha said 30 seconds. And then Shamia says that she wet the bed, but it's the look on Shamia's face. I don't know why she does this look, but I swear she be looking just like Mama Morton, her mother. She's like, yeah, I wet the bed. I don't know why she does that look. It's just funny. But meanwhile, Kelly and K.Michelle aren't really participating in the conversation. And Kay is sitting there looking completely baffled at the fact that these girls can go from screaming to kikiing in the next minute. Like, it is kind of crazy though when you think about it.
Everything's okay now? We all good. Oh, yeah, we good. So y'all really just tag into each other's ass, and then the next moment, it's all good.
Kay says in her confessional that the ladies went from chili cheese hot pockets to everybody laughing, and she is trying to figure out if this is normal for them. And let's talk about the ladies' response. The ladies' responses to when Kay was saying or asking them that. So you had Pinky like, oh yeah, we're good, but y'all, Pinky was toe up. Pinky was getting toe up on this bus ride. She was getting toe up. But when Kay started asking, like, I'm saying that she's just not understanding how they can go from beating each other up one minute to laughing and kikiing the next minute. When she was saying that, Porsha and Drew, well, especially Porsha was just kind of looking like, is she about to do this? Like, we trying to move on, and this heifer trying to hold us accountable, Let me see. Let me show y'all the picture. Oh, shoot. Look at Portia's face. Angela is looking at Kay, taking it all in. But Porsha is looking like, why is she even talking about this? Why is she even pointing this shit out? Like, this is what we do. We're ready to move on. And we're ready to, move on and continue to be fake in each other's faces. And Kay, like, I don't know about that. Like, that shit is weird to me. It's weird to me. And Drew as well. Drew and Porsha were actually looking at each other. Like I said, you guys, I was braiding my hair and it took me hours. So I had time to analyze. And Porsha and Drew were looking right in each other's faces when Kay was saying what she was saying. And it was like as if they were communicating with their eyes. Like, this bitch gonna be a problem. She gonna be a problem. Because we ready to move on and pretend like this shit didn't happen. And this bitch is trying to talk to us about this and holding it up. And she gonna be a problem. Like, here she go again. Here she go again. That was really the look on their faces. So meanwhile, Pinky is still throwing back the drinks and is getting drunker and drunker. So when the van stops, she's the first one off the van saying she needs to go use the bathroom. It was so funny. And I tell y'all, Pinky was toe up. Pinky was toe up. Look.
Sometimes it lingers.
Look at Pinky. She's probably getting car sick too, like in the van. Imagine you throwing back these drinks, tequila. You in a van. It's swerving from side to side. Look at her. One more time.
Sometimes it lingers.
Hey, Pinky was toe up. Pinky was toe up. So when they actually got there, she was like trying to get out, get to the bathroom and use the bathroom. But honestly, I think she needed to get drunk just to deal with these ladies, And then she was riding in the van too. So women get to the restaurant, Pinky heads straight to the bathroom while everybody else orders food and drinks. And Cynthia checks on her, and Pinky is in there like vomiting. She is clearly toe up. So Cynthia goes and gets her ginger ale and throws a little shade in her confessional first, saying that the craziest part is she threw a little shade in her confessional, and she was like, that's why you need to watch how you treat people, because now you need me. And it's the truth. You do need to watch how you treat people, because you never know who you're going to need in the end. But it was so funny, y'all, because the ladies just went on and ordered their food, because first Phaedra was like, well, maybe we should take our food to go, and Cynthia's like, oh no, boo boo, like she's sick, like let her get that shit out. The last thing I want to do is be on the van and she in there throwing up and it's coming out both ends. No, let her stay in that bathroom, get herself together. We're going to order our food and we're going to do what it do. So the ladies keep eating and Pinky is sick in the bathroom. So eventually they ended up calling a car for Pinky, and she leaves. Y'all, Pinky was so toe up. And Pinky had took her shoes off. Keep in mind, they had to push her to get her into the truck. They had to push her to get her into the Sprinter van. That was last episode. She was like, I don't want to tear my pants. Pinky then took her shoes off, honey. Looked like Pinky had shower caps on her feet, some kind of shoe covers. And she coming out the bathroom barefoot and knocking over the flowers. I said, Pinky is drunk. Did y'all see how she knocked that vase over on the vanity? That was so funny to me, baby. Pinky was toe up. Pinky was toe up. So dinner arrives, you guys, and somebody ordered oysters. Okay? Oysters. You know oysters. And they were not char grilled oysters. They were the raw kind. The kind that you have to just that you swallow. Okay? You don't even chew them. I don't understand them. I don't know. If y'all like oysters, let me know in the comments. I personally, that's not for me. Those are not for me. I've had one of those raw ones one time and it felt very weird going down my throat and I felt forced to eat it. I will never forget. I was at this bar and people get to drink and get friendly and stuff. And the people next to me ordered some oysters, raw oysters. And when they came out, they were like, try one, try one. And I'm like, no, I really don't want one. I really don't want it. Before I knew it, the dude had the oyster up to my mouth and I felt like I had to take it. And so I took the oyster and it went down my throat and it was slimy and thick and salty and just tastes like ocean water. I didn't like it at all. Anyways, I love them charbroiled though. I love them charbroiled. So some of the oysters come out and Drew was like, Cynthia, be careful at the oysters. And what she meant by that, I didn't really know. Now here in the South where I live, we eat a lot of oysters. And there is this myth or this saying that you don't eat oysters in any month that does not end in a Y. So that's like June, April, March. We would not eat oysters in the months that do not end in a Y. I don't know why that is, or if it even means anything, but that's my mom always said. But she has a lot of superstitions, but that's just one of them. We don't eat oysters. So I was thinking, why would she say be careful? And then sometimes they also have like some of the oyster shell in there. It can kind of like chip your teeth, and sometimes it's ooh. So, and that's even in the charbroiled one. So I can't even imagine the raw ones that hadn't been rinsed off or anything. But so I thought maybe she meant something like that. So then, but Porsha starts referring to the oysters as vaginas. So she was like, yeah, I'll check them. I'll check them. So she's going through them and it looked like she had a chopstick or something. I don't know, but she's going through the oysters and she's like, like that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, these some clean vaginas. And then she was like, that one there might have a little stench. But as soon as she said that, you guys, K.Michelle's whole expression changed. Her whole expression changed when Porsha said that, and she looked completely triggered. This was how she was looking. And rightfully so, because Drew and Porsha were definitely being shady. They were absolutely being shady. Because as soon as Porsha said the word vagina, this was Drew's expression. That's how she looked at Porsha. Again, they were making this eye contact in the van as well. When K.Michelle brought up the fact that they are fussing and cussing each other out one minute and then laughing and stuff the next, Porsha and Drew were looking at each other the whole time that Kay was talking. So now Porsha done said this shit, but Drew's the one asked about the damn oyster. So she gave Porsha the opening to check the vaginas, right? To check the oysters and call them vaginas and say that one of them was smelling. So they're definitely in on that together. But the look on Drew's face is like, I can't believe she said it. Like, I can't believe she just said that. So it was definitely some shady mess going on. So I don't think that K.Michelle was tripping on that. I really don't. A lot of times I think she's tripping, but in this instance, I think that she knew what she was seeing and she was right.
That vagina is clean. This one might be a little tense. That vagina is clean.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? K not crazy. The question is K.Michelle crazy? Is she crazy? She heard what she heard and she saw what she saw. And then look at Phaedra. Could you imagine if you're sitting over there triggered because someone's talking about a vagina being clean? And let's talk about the reason why K.Michelle is triggered, okay? Let's talk about the reason why she is triggered, although I hate to even have to talk about this because I feel like it's so demeaning for a woman. But K.Michelle is triggered by a conversation about the hygiene of a vagina because her feminine hygiene was called into question after, like she said, a disgruntled ex went on a podcast and started a rumor about her 8 years ago. Okay. And so because she's not used to having girlfriends, her experience with the women in Atlanta has been horrible. And in her views, it's been bullyish behavior. Because she has seen Porsha go off on Kelli and out this woman, and now they fussing and then they kikiing the next minute, and she's thinking to herself, like, I would not be kikiing with y'all bitches the next minute after you just said the shit about me that you just said. And she's right about that. She ain't crazy. I be feeling the same way. Like, how are we moving on? Like, yeah, we over here kikiing, but I remember what the hell you said, and this ain't over yet, unless we say it's over. Now, if we get to the point where we say it's over, that's fine. We can squash it and be done with it, but ain't been no resolve. And yet we're laughing and kikiing and going on like nothing ever happened, So I understand why she would be untrusting of them. So when this happens, she's immediately triggered because she knows what happened to her 8 years ago. And how do you get over that, right? Especially if you're already insecure. And the fact that K.Michelle, who I think personally is a beautiful woman, and there's nothing wrong with getting plastic surgery or having things nipped and tucked and tweaked or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But Kay herself has said that she did it because of insecurities, right? And that she's not even sure if she's past those insecurities. And then the fact that she's living out loud the results of the illegal butt shots. Now she's got infections and she's leaking, and maybe she does smell. But if we know that she has infection down there, it can't smell fresh, but she can't help it because it's infection. And so she can do whatever she wants to do to her vagina. The smell they smelling is from that BBL and from the infection, So in my opinion, that's what I would think, right? And I feel sorry for her. I really do feel sorry for her. But that's why it's important too that you can't just give yourself to anybody, because clearly that dude didn't have no respect for her to go on a blog and talk about her feminine hygiene is so disrespectful, and talk about it in that way is so disrespectful, you know. And as women, we already, even if you know your shit is like extra fresh, you know, you already, somebody say it smell, you're gonna be like, damn, does it? You know, you don't know it doesn't if you know it doesn't. But still, like, that's the last thing a woman wants, is for her vagina to be smelling, you know. So for someone to say that her vagina smelled on this podcast, even if it was 8 years ago, she was triggered by it. She was very triggered. And the look on Drew's face when Porsha said that, if she was not talking about Kay, unless she was looking like that because she thought it was inappropriate, she had no reason to be looking at Porsha in her face like that when Porsha said it. Okay. And the producers pick things like that up, and the editors keep it in there because it's significant. They would not show Drew's face looking like this unless it meant something. Okay. K.Michelle is not crazy.
That vagina is clean. This one might be a little tense. That vagina is clean.
And Kay is probably thinking to herself, like, I can't believe these bitches about to do this to me. Like, I can't believe, like, or are they about to do this to me? Like, she's, you know, and I think it was rightfully so that she felt that way. So Shamia ends up asking Kay how she's feeling after the bus ride. And Kay said that she's been holding back and she's trying to be holy. And Shamia's like, well, I want this to feel like a safe space for you. And K.Michelle said, but it's not. It's not. You know, it absolutely does not feel safe because the ladies have been tearing each other down. And she's right about that. And Kay ain't stupid. Don't be stupid enough and think they're your friends, because they're not. They're your coworkers who you guys and y'all film together. Okay. So Porsha says that she understands because Kay witnessed the argument between her and Kelly, and that was not anything that she really intended to do, and that she would rather have had a one-on-one conversation with Kelly. And then Kelly explains that they're just working through their issues in real time, right? So they have issues and they're trying to work through them. And so that's what it is. And I can understand that too, but it's how low they go. And Porsha went low saying that Kelly slept with a married man. If she's not going to show proof, drop names, or do something other than her being the receipts, then she shouldn't have brought it up at all. She shouldn't have brought it up at all. But at the same time, if it was untrue, especially given the history that Porsha has with spreading rumors, think about the Kelly rumor. I'm sure Kelly, not Kelly, the Candy rumor, when Porsha said that she heard that Candy was going to take her to the dungeon and all of that, and Candy raised hell about it and got Phaedra put off the show and all of that. If Kelly really thought, if it was really untrue and it was meritless, then I think that Kelly would be raising more hell than what she is in real time. Even if she didn't then, in real time, as it's coming out now, right? Because I don't really see, unless Kelly just like, it's for TV, it's what it is. It is what it is. And I'm going to leave it alone. But if it was untrue, then it would definitely be defamation, you know? So, and the fact that she hasn't even said that makes me feel like there could be some truth to it. But Porsha saying it and the way she's saying it is like, I'm not sure about that, you know? Y'all, I'm at work. I'm in my suite right now, and I have a big window in the front, so I'm looking outside, and these people are outside in the parking lot. It's been a lot of graduations around here. They're out there just jigging, baby. Just, y'all know what jigging is? Just dancing, have their music loud and stuff. I mean, they having fun and all, but, you know, keep it cute. Keep it cute. So, let's see. So then Drew asked Kay exactly what it was that made her feel uncomfortable. And Kay says that she's heard rumors, you know, around Atlanta that Drew was trying to connect her to Black. And Kay says that Well, Drew says, well, I thought you knew him. Like, I thought y'all were friends. And Kay is like, I don't know that man. I don't know. The only thing I know about him is that he be in my DMs. And Drew was like, well, he can do that because, he's single. So he can be in your DMs. So I'm not bothered by that. But the whole time she's talking, like Shamia is like over there whispering, right? And so Drew acting like it wasn't a big deal, but Shamia is like over there whispering to Kay the entire time, so she ain't bothered. I'll be bothered if I was on the phone for 3 hours with somebody and then he's sitting up in somebody else's DMs. Like, yeah, right, she not bothered. Like, and making faces and shit, the same little face, making faces and shit, But Shamia, that's her opinion. She would be bothered, but Drew's saying like he be in a lot of women's DMs. Like it's not just mine's. And so as they were leaving, Kay asked Shamia like, "What's wrong? Like, what you doing?" And Shamia was like, "What do you mean?" And Kay was like, "You starting mess. Like you trying to start mess with Drew. Like you and Drew not gonna ever get past y'all's issues if you over there doing little shit like whispering when she talking and stuff. And you're going to keep stuff going." And so Shamia lets Kay know that she's bothered by Drew because Drew and Angela keep asking and questioning her about her relationship with Porsha. But it's got to be awkward to be in a group of people when you have two people in the group that used to be best friends who are no longer talking, and Porsha's going on like paying Shamia dust, basically. She still have people in the group that she's close with. She's laughing. She's having a good time. She's still got a storyline, and Shamia's not a part of that storyline. And with that being her best friend and someone she's been dealing with for 20 plus years, it's gotta hurt. Like, I don't care what it is or why y'all fell out. It's got to hurt to see that person be in your face and pretty much ignore you, right? And they doing it to each other, both of them being real petty, and their storyline could be making up, that could be both of their storyline, making up for the season, trying to make up, trying to get real about it, because I would be crying if it was like, if I was under my best friend and me and her was fussing, like I can't hold my emotions. I mean, I can control my emotions sometimes, but like, there's no way that I would not be bothered by that. So anyways, that's the issue. So Shamia mad because they keep on asking her questions about her and Drew. I mean, about her and Porsha.
You never grew up in the hood, did you? No, I didn't. You need to get dropped off in the hood because you be on some other shit.
Right. So when Kay asked her if she ever grew up in the hood, what she's saying is you never got your ass whooped, right? That's the problem. You would not be doing shit like that if you was from the hood, because all that little shady stuff and little sly comments would not fly. And that's what she meant by asking her if she ever grew up in the hood. So the next morning is day 3 of the trip, you guys, and the ladies gather for breakfast, and Pinky feels much better, honey, because Cynthia done bought her ginger ale and, took care of her that night. And she's just really hoping that the ladies can keep the peace for the night, because it's the night of the gala. So Kelli asks Kay how she's feeling when Kay finally makes it down to breakfast. And Angela brings up, Kelli asks Kay how she's feeling. And Kay's like, I'm fine. I slept fine. And then Angela says, well, Kay, last night in the bus, you said that you didn't feel safe. Like, was that true? And Kay goes to answer and she's hesitant. And then, y'all, she just busted out crying. She bust out crying.
And y'all can sit here and say you care about people when y'all be sitting there plotting and trying to do stuff to people. If I know that a mother is sitting there plotting my hurt, I'm not going to smile in your face.
So, yeah. So everybody's kind of looking confused, like, what the hell is going on? And Kay reveals that she believes that there's a plot against her. And she said that she got a phone call or a text message or something last night saying that there was a plot against her, and all the ladies run to her to calm her down or to comfort her except for Angela. Okay. And so even Porsha is saying that she feels bad. In her confessional, Kay explains that she received a phone call warning her that there was a plot to embarrass her by linking her to Black and bringing up old rumors about her body. right? And so Angela keeps watching Shamia's reactions, and Angela is just kind of like, you know, and the producers immediately pan to Shamia looking all stressed. That's how Shamia was looking when Kay was talking. But keep in mind though, Shamia and Kay are friends, and so Kay had already told Shamia about it, and so Shamia knew what she was talking about when Kay was talking. So that's probably a look of sympathy for her friend, right? But Angela, of course, called her out on it.
Shamia, I'm always looking in your face because it's the same face you've been making last
Because I
night.
think that this group manipulates and fabrication.
So you know what she's talking about.
Shamia says that there's a lot of plotting and scheming going on behind the scenes. And Angela asks if she knew what's going on. And Shamia admits that Kay had confided in her and Kelli, but that she refuses to repeat it publicly because she is not going to betray her friend's trust. Okay. And so Drew, like really, she thinks that Shamia is feeding Kay nonsense, but Shamia, of course, denies it. And Shamia is like, I didn't tell her shit. She told me. She came to me with it, right? So the ladies end up ending breakfast, and somebody asked Kay if she wanted to go for a walk. And so they went out to go for a walk, and they're all like totally confused about what the hell is going on. Totally confused.
I have no clue at all what's going on here.
I'm confused, as is everybody else.
I don't even know if it's real. Like, is this something we should be trying to even figure out?
You see how Drew tried to make it seem like Kay was crazy in that? Like, I don't even know if it's real. Really, Drew? Really? You know damn well what y'all are doing. You know what y'all are doing. All those little faces and stuff you and Porsha making back and forth and all of that. Like, it's not cool. It's not. So later, Kelli, Kay, and Shamia update Pinky on everything because, again, Pinky didn't know what was going on. And so Kate says that she is emotionally exhausted and she can only take so much more before she just snaps. And so meanwhile, Porsha and the crew being Cynthia, Phaedra, Drew, and Angela, gather into one of the other rooms. And so they get up in the bed and they start discussing it. And so they're like, Phaedra suggested that they check Twitter because, you know, Kay is like a Twitter crash out and she's known for live tweeting. So they go on Twitter and they see where Kay did tweet something.
If it takes a group plot, a rumor, or scheme to bring me down when I'm coming in love, you already lost in the game and lost in life.
Wait, when did she say that now?
3 hours ago.
What?
Would you guys believe that Porsha had the nerve to say that she was offended that Kay thinks the group would plot against her? Especially because she's the one that brought Kay onto the show and into the friend group. Can you believe she said that shit? Like, as if that makes a difference, that matters.
A bit offended, only because I am the one who is introducing her into my friendship group. For her not to tell me who is offending her, it kind of hurts my feelings because I would feel like she would trust me so that I could stand up.
Why the hell would she trust you because you brought her into the friend group? Did you not bring Fallon into the friend group? And then did you not do interviews and everything saying that the producers set that up and that you and Fallon really weren't friends, were never friends? So what does if Kay automatically trusted Porsha because Porsha brought her into the friend group, Porsha could be walking out with Kay husband and saying, I don't really know you. The producer set that up. I don't have no loyalty to you. So why would Kay think that you would have any loyalty to her because you brought her into the friend group when you brought Fallon into the friend group too, Porsha? That makes absolutely no sense to me, right? That's some bullshit. And then Porsha also says that the situation is dangerous for her right now. What does that mean? Dangerous how? Is Porsha scared of K.Michelle? You think she's scared of Kay? Or is it dangerous because she knows that Kay already knows who's involved? Is it dangerous because the plot has been revealed. Is that what it is? What makes the situation dangerous for Porsha? Okay. And so Kate later makes it very clear that she believes Porsha is included in the alleged plot. And we know that Kate thinks Porsha is involved because she said that one of them, she said she had no tolerance for people with no talent that are selling someone synthetic hair, okay, that never sold. And they're worried about her vagina while dealing with their own issues, okay? And then she announces to us, baby, that she got a new nipped and tucked vagina, and she's had several vaginas since the one that people were talking about. And her new vagina is a married vagina.
Do you understand how many vaginas I've had since 8 years? I've gotten it tight, snipped, tucked. This is a married vagina. You don't even know this new vagina.
Baby, they don't even know this new vagina. This here is a married vagina. That's what Kay said. This is a married vagina, baby. You know how many vaginas I've had since that in 8 years? Damn. Damn. How many vaginas have you had? Kay said, I got this vagina nipped and tucked for this new man, baby, for this marriage, honey. You don't even know nothing about this vagina. I know that's right, Kay. She said, I can't become a virgin again, but I can make it brand new. I can build it over for you, honey. And so now Shamia is worried that everybody's going to blame her for stirring up drama between Kay and the group. And Angela says that Shamia wears her emotions all on her face. And anytime Drew and Porsha are mentioned, she wonders if Shamia is influencing the other ladies because Shamia starts making these faces anytime Drew or Porsha are mentioned, right?
Clearly, that's who Kay is confiding to. Kay has an issue with everyone that Shamia has an issue with. Is Shamia putting a battery in Kay's back? She's definitely capable.
But honestly, y'all, Angela is the smart one. And we know Angela messy as hell. So it makes me feel like it's Angela planting seeds, right? Because Shamia is very upset with Angela because she feels like Angela and Drew interfered in her friendship with Porsha and that is the reason why she and Porsha fell out. That's not true. They were probably going to fall out anyways. And Angela and Drew couldn't have told Porsha anything had Shamia not told Angela about it, right? She was telling Angela that Porsha was a bad friend and she didn't go to her wedding and all those things. And then she was hurt by it. And so Angela, being messy and producing the show and, being the MVP of season 16, went back and told Porsha. And so now Shamia is feeling like it was intentional to ruin her friendship. And I don't know that it was intentional to ruin your friendship, but it was definitely careless in regard to your friendship. But when Shamia laughed at Porsha saying that she would sleep with Charles and she had no remorse about it, baby, that puts you number one on the hit list. And so Angela coming for you. And so she planting all these seeds. Angela is the one producing the show, in my opinion. So Angela keeps planting these seeds and they just run with the shit. These dumbos, bimbos, like K.Michelle says, these bimbos just run with the shit. So Angela is the one, I believe, that's running the other ladies, in my opinion.
Yeah. And anytime someone would mention you, or anytime someone would mention Kay, there's this expression.
She ain't lying though. Shamia does. I mean, Shamia be looking crazy. And as if things were not messy enough, then Drew suddenly brings up Pinky allegedly saying that Phaedra eats dead people. So now everybody suspects, so everybody's kind of laughing, and Phaedra's like, dead people? I don't eat dead people. Like, I make them look great, but I don't eat dead people. But that's neither here nor there. And then Cynthia's so like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. That kind of went over my head. I kind of forgot about that. But Cynthia was the one who they said it to, and she was the one who told Drew. But she wasn't gonna tell Phaedra because it wasn't that big of a deal. Like clearly Pinky was playing. She know damn well Phaedra don't eat dead people. I assume she was playing, right? I assume. So now everybody suspects that Shamia is behind the rumors, and the ladies are supposed to be getting ready to get their glam and everything to get ready for the gala. But Shamia is trying to clear her name. And so Kelli goes to see Shamia in her room, and Shamia is walking around in this thong bikini, which I believe is doing entirely too much, not because she's in the bikini, but because everybody else, when they dispersed and they were going to go get ready for the gala. So why are you now putting on your bikini? And so she said that she did it because she wanted to go lay out by the pool. But why are you laying out by the pool when everybody's supposed to be getting ready for the gala, right? And she had on pajamas that morning and like a little robe, that little burgundy thing. So they go in her room, and Kelli goes in the room. Shamia's sitting up there in her bikini. And I'm just like, so still in the bikini, Shamia gathers the ladies to defend herself, okay?
You expect me to take you serious? Why are you in a thong? She is trying to show off her new BBL. Like, bitch.
Both butt cheeks sitting on top of my head at this point. Ass.
And y'all, Shamia's body is T, okay? Shamia's body is tight, is right. Everything is in the right place. The butt is round, is sitting up perfect, and all of that. So I don't blame her for being comfortable in her thong. If I look like that, I'd be comfortable too in a thong bikini. But I don't know that I would want to just be sitting around on random patio furniture in a thong bikini around a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not that I'm not that confident, and I wouldn't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable with my nudity, you know? And so Shamia says that she's not about to be the fall guy, and that she sees right through the plotting and scheming. Okay. And so and she was like asking Kay to clear her name and saying that Kay came to her, but she's not going to say anything because that's what a friend does and all this. And so Kay says that there absolutely is a plot. There absolutely is a plot happening. But she's not ready to fully speak on it yet because she's not in the emotional space yet. And I think that Kay knows that she will go the fuck off if she does start talking about the details of the plot, because she's that triggered by it and she's that hurt by it, right? And so she tells the ladies that she caught all the shady comments and she knows exactly what's going on.
This person knows exactly the little comments and what they were doing.
That vagina is clean. This one might be a little thin.
They can act as stupid as they want to be.
And you see how the producers panned back to Drew's eyes when that was happening? There is a plot, clearly. K.Michelle ain't crazy. The producers are setting it up right now for them to pan back on Drew's face in that particular clip. So that's what she's upset about. And for the producers to pan back and show us Drew's face and let us hear the laughs and all of that, they know that's what K.Michelle was referring to, is that. Now, whether or not Porsha meant something by that in reference to K.Michelle, I don't know. But why would Drew look so surprised that Porsha said it, right? Why would she look so surprised? So then Kay circles back to Drew, which I feel like is some bully behavior, because I feel like she thinks Drew is the weakest link in the low-hanging fruit. Because if you have a problem with what Porsha said, why are you never addressing Porsha immediately? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you have to go tell everybody else, and you really feel a way about Porsha, but she's never really telling Porsha that she feels a way about her. And it's pissing me off, to be honest with you. As a viewer, it's pissing me off because I feel like, don't do that. Like, don't come all over Drew. Don't jump all over Drew because you feel like she's the weakest link. That's some bully type behavior too. And so she circles back to Drew in the black situation. But like I said, she never really confronts Porsha about the oysters or the smelly vagina comments or whatever. And so Drew says that she thought Kay and Black already knew each other because they sounded familiar on the phone. And producers flash back to the scene where Drew was introducing them when Black was on the phone at Porsha's party. And Kay was like, hey, it's good to see you. So clearly they did know each other, or they have been at least familiar with each other, okay? And then Kay just totally explodes on Drew. And it seems so misplaced and so like overreaction.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Because I don't need no you run around here telling folks that I'm wearing no makeup. I don't know somebody that run around here
And you guys remember last week I showed you all the still shots of the messages between K.Michelle and Black. And K.Michelle did say to him, like, thank you, handsome. I saw you out there with all these heart emojis. And so maybe Kay knew that she was kind of flirtatious with Black as well in those DMs and just did not want the DMs at all to come out. Okay. Because now she is married. And her husband probably told her too, don't bring me on this show and have me looking like a fool. Right. Because who wants to marry a woman, and then go on the show? Now I got to be in the face of somebody who you said was trying to holler at you, right? Or who you might have been trying to holler at. So maybe she was trying to get ahead of the story. Who knows? Who knows? But she just exploded. I just don't think that even the little DMs that they did have was that big of a deal. But I don't think that Drew is wrong for assuming that they were familiar with each other because of the way that they responded to each other when she thought she was introducing them. So I don't think that Drew is being messy. She might have been asking after that, like, how they know each other, because clearly they do, right? She might have been asking around Atlanta, does Kay know Black? You ever heard about Kay and Black? Like she might have been asking that, but she should have been asking Black, considering she says that that's her best friend. So anyways, the two continue to scream back and forth, and Porsha is like physically holding Kay back, and she's holding Kay on her lap. Okay. And so Drew stands up and she's acting all tough until Kay matches her energy. And then all of a sudden Drew gets scared and she starts saying, like, this is a lot. This is a lot. Well, like, you kind of stood up and told her that she didn't know you and all this stuff. You was kind of bucking, Drew. Like all you had to do. I mean, Kay was bucking too, so I guess she matched Kay's energy too. Like, it was just all too much. And I feel like it's all a big deal about Black, who Drew doesn't even say is her boyfriend. And I think Kay is making a big deal out of nothing in this regard. But I think that it has to do with Kay's insecurities about the rumors surrounding her in the industry and about her past love life, sex life, hookup life, whatever, right? Because she probably, now that she's married, it's like you want to forget about the past, right? What did she say? You don't even know this vagina. This is a married vagina. She wants to forget about the past and forget about her sex life and everything before she got married, because now she's a married woman. So she don't want everybody talking about the stuff that she used to do. Although she was on Shannon Sharp's show here recently, and K.Michelle talked a lot about people she dated in the past. And I'm thinking, if you're a married woman now, Kay, shut that shit down. Like, move on, move along, Unc. Like, why are you asking me about my past boyfriends and stuff? I'm married. I's married now. I's married now. And so Drew ends up leaving eventually after Kay calms down, while she's literally sitting in Porsha's lap. Lap dog much? No, I'm just playing. We know K.Michelle's not Porsha's lap dog, but she was definitely sitting in Porsha's lap in this scene. And still fussing at Drew though, and so Drew accused Kay of just wanting a moment, and Kay fires back saying that everybody is tired of hearing about Drew in that basement and that Drew should be looking for her own moment. Okay. And so Drew's like, but that's my real life. That's my real life. And so Kay's like, but don't nobody want to hear about that. And she tells Drew very clearly, like, don't attach me to anybody but the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I died. It was so funny. Don't attach me to nobody but the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I said, preach, Kay, preach. And so Kelli says that Drew likes, in her confessional, that Drew likes to throw rocks and hide her hands. And y'all, I'm really thinking that she does, because like she said in that past clip that I showed you all here earlier, when Drew says, is this even something that we should be worried about? Is it even real? You know damn well it's real, Drew. Like, don't try to make K.Michelle out to be delusional and crazy and freaking bipolar, like she's just making shit up, right? Schizo, like she's just making shit up, and she's not, Like, let's not do that either. Let's not do that, Drew. Let's not do that. You don't have good luck, and you have not had good luck in your real life. And it's probably because you do little shit like this to other people. So, you can't be doing dirty stuff and then asking God to bless you and look out for you. People get that twisted all the time. They think they can do little dirty shit to people and then turn around and ask God to bless them in their life. You can't. It's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. I'm sorry. It's just not. And so Kelly says that Drew likes to throw rocks and hide her hands, and that she's glad somebody finally called her out, you know? And I think we have to wait and watch it all play out in the scene in the rest of the season. But there is going to be something else to this story. I just know it is. Okay. And so Drew leaves the room and she immediately calls Black, of course, to tell him what just happened.
I say, literally, in verbatim, word for word, I literally say, holy shit, K, goddamn. It was a nice picture. That was exactly what my DM was.
But I didn't know about that then.
So Drew's like, but I didn't know about that. So why would I be trying to link you to her? Why would I be trying to link her to you when I didn't even know anything about the DM? I had no idea that you guys knew each other or whatever. And so Black says, yeah, like why would you try to link me to her when you barely want to link me to you? So I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Kay. So anyways, after Drew leaves, Porsha ends up confronting Shamia and telling her what Angela was saying about Shamia being the one possibly feeding Kay information. And Shamia says it is obvious that the ladies had a team meeting and decided to pin everything on her.
I said I thought it was Shamia. I told her that.
Screw me being a good friend. Y'all want to talk about faces. Faces? Faces. Last time I checked, I was a black woman. Our faces say it all. Hello?
And what was this face saying Shamia? Like her faces have been saying a lot this season, a whole lot. But when that was happening, y'all, when Shamia and Porsha were having, or when Angela was talking, Shamia was looking at Porsha. I don't know if y'all caught it or not, but she says this to Porsha. She says, "You're being so messy." Okay. Now this is her friend, her former friend of 20 years. So she tells her, "You being so messy. You being so messy right now." And Porsha messy ass sit right there and act like she ain't hear her. And then Shamia says, "I just can't stand it. Like, I just can't stand it." And Porsha sitting up there acting like she don't even hear Shamia. Like, that's a bitch. Oh, that would infuriate you. It's like, give me a fucking reaction. Like, I'm telling you, you pissing me off. I can't stand it. And you sitting up there acting like you don't even hear me. Oh, that'd be the worst. That's the worst when somebody play you dust. Somebody pay you dust when you be wanting a reaction. That's the worst. That is the worst. I kind of felt for Shamia in that scene. So anyways, Angela says that she heard Shamia blames her and Drew for the fallout of her relationship with Porsha. And Shamia admits that she does because Angela keeps on discussing it. She keeps talking about it behind her back. And she's like, you keep bringing my name up in rooms that I'm not in. And clearly Shamia is hurt, y'all. The argument continues while Cynthia desperately tries to calm everybody down. Because keep in mind, the gala is coming up. They still got to get ready. So at one point, Shamia stands up and I don't know what was said, but she turns around and shows Angela her butt and all this. And Angela saying like, that's the problem. And Angela was like, clearly she just wants to show off her new BBL, right? And she's right, because Shamia had no reason to even be in a bikini at that moment, considering the fact that they're supposed to be getting ready. And then you didn't even throw a robe on when you called this meeting. You went down in that thong bikini. Then you turned around to the camera. And that's the kind of shit that's going to get you in trouble with your husband. That's the kind of shit that's going to have your in-laws talking about you. Like, you weren't even in the pool. You want to make the rum bottle after your bum. She's trying to sell it, I guess. Maybe it's marketing. But should you have to do that as a mother and as a wife? Is that really how you want to present yourself? It's things like that bring on that Bravo curse, It's things like that you got to be careful with as a married woman on this show and on any show for that matter, especially when your husband doesn't even want to be on the show. Like, come on, y'all. So the ladies go upstairs to get dressed, and Cynthia brings in a jeweler to adorn the ladies with diamonds and jewels. and they were super excited. I think Cynthia had on like over $300,000 worth of jewelry for Cynthia. I think hers was, what was it, 385,000 or something like that. And then Phaedra's had like this snake shaped necklace on, and hers was 100,000. I don't remember what Pinky's was. I don't remember what Pinky's was, but hers was cute. But Shamia's looked really good too, y'all. Hers looked really good. I think I have a little video. I might have one. I have one later on for sure. So meanwhile, the ladies are getting dressed. They're about ready to go. And so Drew is still getting glam. And she says that she has a bad headache. So it starts raining. So Cynthia tells the women that Drew's going to meet them there. The girls get into the limo or to the van, and they're on their way, and it's raining, y'all. And I mean raining. I'm talking about pouring down raining. But Cynthia stays positive, and she says that rain is good luck.
It cannot rain now. It was an outdoor event. It was all set up in the signs and the balloons and the flowers and all the things. Apparently, there is a hurricane happening now.
So her party planner or her assistant actually called her and told her that it was raining really bad. He was crying, y'all. I'm talking about bawling, crying. I'm thinking somebody died. Like, I'm just knowing that Cynthia's getting a call from someone saying that someone she loved died, the way this dude was crying. Or the woman, whoever it was, I'm talking about bawling, like inconsolable crying, okay? And so Cynthia's very positive about it though. She's like, it is what it is. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna move the party inside, and it's gonna be fine. And it was, you guys. The mansion was absolutely beautiful. Huge staircase, huge soaring ceilings, and it was definitely giving dynasty vibes. The husbands are there. Mike is there. He gives Porsha this gold dipped rose, whatever. Pinky hugs her husband and tells him he looks nice, and he tells her that he knows. That's what everybody was saying. Caston gives Kay a hug, and it was kind of, maybe he's just not used to the cameras, but he didn't really look like he was all that happy to see her. And with a wife like K.Michelle, who has some insecurity, she's gonna need some validation. So I wish I would have seen him say, "Baby, you look beautiful," but we didn't. But Porsha and Phaedra's fake asses immediately get in Caston's face, okay? And Angela's standing there looking awkward because she knows she can't even be fake like that. And she waiting for Drew, and Drew is not there, so she don't really know what to do with herself. And I will say, you guys, that I think Phaedra looked the best this night and the most dynasty of the theme. Shamia's blue dress looked absolutely beautiful on her, but Shamia's hair was a total miss. And Angela looked like a drag queen. No doubt about it. And I'm a tall woman myself, and I know that with too much makeup, and if we overdo it, we can look a little, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's Angela's plastic surgery on top of it, like her rhinoplasty and whatever she's doing to her face. She just looks frozen, Botox, too much. And to me, it looks horrible. And Angela's a pretty lady, but y'all, it's too much.
This house is amazing. I'm really excited about the gala setup.
It's definitely giving dynasty.
We brought it inside, and look, at the end of the day, ain't nothing better than a good old house party.
I want to show y'all the clip too when they were in Caston's face. I think I have it. Watch this.
I got my eyes open to everyone in the room. I'm gonna keep it cute because we don't want to show our hair, but when we get to Atlanta.
Did y'all hear Phaedra? We love her. And Phaedra and Porsha, something about your beautiful wife. Like get out my husband's face, Porsha. I'm sorry. Skedaddle. Toodaloo. Get on. Move on. I don't trust you. I'm not cool with you like that. I know you will get mad and screw somebody's husband. You make up questionable stories. I don't know if you're lying on Kelli. Get the fuck going. Okay? Like, don't come around here. Don't come around here, Porsha. Don't come around here. And so Cynthia gives a speech and decides to crown a tequila queen based on the audience applause. But the audience was like kind of clapping the same for everybody. And then they showed this clip of ladies all strutting their stuff and, posing for the crowd or whatever. It was cute.
If Kay gets drunk, she cries. If Kiki gets drunk, she throws up. If Porsha gets drunk, she her husband.
You know what I'm saying? So Angela says she's the one that deserves to be the tequila queen because she's the only one that can handle her liquor. Okay? And so, yeah, but you get caught that shade though. If Porsha gets drunk, she screws your husband. Angela ain't over that shit. Angela watching Porsha like a hawk, and K.Michelle watching her. K.Michelle watching all these ladies, but Angela has not forgotten what Porsha said. She's just chosen to move on. Forgive and not forget, or I can just move on and not forgive or forget and be a professional about it. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm saying. So Cynthia eventually says that they should all share the crown, and the ladies get up there. They start tugging over this damn crown, y'all, and they done broke the damn crown. Okay. So they ended up turning all the way up. When I tell y'all, it went from a gala to a straight up house party. They was dancing, baby. K.Michelle was grinding in Polo Caston's lap. Phaedra was dropping it like it's hot in her big dress, honey. And they went from Dynasty to Atlanta. It was definitely Atlanta in Dynasty, okay? Baby, they was turned up. So I know they had fun. So it's always a good time when you can just laugh and dance and, in a safe environment, laugh out loud. And Kay over there just humping her husband, hope that booty situation was taken care of by then. Because, if she'd have got up and his pants would have been wet, that would have been horrible. So by the end of the night, Drew finally arrives, you guys, literally when everybody else is leaving. Literally. When they were leaving. So Cynthia jokes that she don't even care. And she jokes that, the party is over and Kay has collected enemies on this trip like Pokemon cards. And honestly, she wasn't lying. Whatever these ladies didn't fix on this trip, they will probably fix with champagne later, according to Cynthia. So that is how it ended. Y'all, that's how it ended. Let me know, you guys. Do you guys think that Kay is making this shit up? Or do you guys think that she saw what I saw? What the producers are trying to show us? That Drew and Porsha are up to something. I don't necessarily know if Phaedra's in on it, but Drew and Porsha are up to something. They're up to something. Phaedra very well may be in on it too. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, let me give you guys a special thank you. A special thank you so much for rocking with me and watching the whole video. I sincerely appreciate it. And I hope that you guys will join me soon. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. So you guys will get notification bells when I'm going to be here in the suite again. And you guys can come check out a video with me. I would love to go live soon, but I got to have enough subscribers to do that. So help me out and, hype this video. Share it with a friend if you can. And I will see you guys next time here in the suite. My name is Tanya. I'm your host. And thank you so much for sipping with me. Peace out, beautiful people.